am so happy to be here with you. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm just going to check my phone real quick and make sure I'm live wherever I need to be and make sure my audio is going. So give me a quick hot second here. If you're just jumping on, let me know that you're here. Okay, I see a couple of you on. Make sure you comment so I know that you're here. Tina, I see you. Can you hear me, Tina? Want to make sure you can hear me well. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I have some exciting news. I'm going to share it in just a second with you. You might realize here that I'm on at 10:30. The good news is you can expect me here at 10:30 every Thursday, and maybe splattered throughout the week as well. Y'all want to know why? Hello, Jen. Welcome, welcome. You want to know why I'm here at 10:30? Do you see this big smile on my face today? Well, let me tell you why. I have some exciting news. I have retired from my regular daytime job, so I can stamp with you all the time, which I know is super duper exciting. I have some great things planned for you. I know some of you subscribe to my Boo Box, and you will be getting those in the mail very shortly. They've gone out. So I know that you will love those. There's some cute little gifts in there. And I've partnered again with Laura Anderson, and we are doing a fall spectacular box because we want you to fall for us. The Fall For You box is going to give you 8 cards again, and it's going to give you 4 additional cards just as a PDF. So you're going to be able to make 12 cards. With all the product that you get, you're going to have plenty of leftovers. We cut everything. We die cut everything for you. All you do is have to cut your designer series paper because we want you to see how beautiful that is when it arrives whole. And pull out your glue and your embellishments and put it together. And this, for the Boo Box, we're actually having a Zoom party. This fall one, we're not going to have the Zoom party, but we want you to still partake in the box. And you never know, we might pop in now and then and give you a chat or two. So I want to show you a couple cards before we get started that will be in the Boo Box. I don't know if you can see, this is one. Whoops, let me flip it down. Then you can see it really good. So this is one of the cards that will be in the fall box. I might have said Boo Box. Let me show you another one that'll be in there. Sorry, I'm going through all of my Boo Box cards here. This is another one that'll be in there. This is my favorite one that'll be in there. This is another one that'll be in there. So you will see these cards in your fall box. You're also going to get a 12 by 12 pack of designer series paper, an embellishment, maybe embellishment or 2. Everything will be cut for you. We cannot do stamped images, so you'll have to do that yourself. But these are some exciting cards. I know we're all like, okay, summer's not even over yet, right? Summer, we still have a few weeks of that. But we got to start thinking about these fall cards. We need to make thank you cards for fall. We need to make giving type of boxes and cards and all that good stuff. Things that we're thankful for, because we're sharing all that in November. Now, the Boo Box, for those of you who did get the Boo Box, I'm just going to throw up a couple cards here so you can see how fabulous these were. And maybe I'll turn you down. This is just a few of them. I have a few more on my table. Let me turn you down again. They're getting all of these fabulous cards plus more in their Boo Box. And again, everything's die cut for them, so they don't have to worry about that. And there's some really cute gifts in there. All right. Other exciting news. Mini catalog. It is here. It is fabulous. I am stuck right now on a few items in here. I've been designing. Let me show you what I've been designing with, just to kind of give you an idea. Peaceful Days. Been designing with that. I have the most fabulous projects coming for you. It includes 5 cards and a mini album. That is coming up, and you'll see advertisements for that very soon. The mini album is out of this world. Maybe I'll give you a little sneak peek of that. You want a sneak peek? You got to let me know if you want a sneak peek. I need to feel some love, right? Hello, Miss Sandy. Hello, Arlena. Thank you, thank you. This is a sneak peek of my mini album. Okay, just a quick peek. I don't want you to have all the bells and whistles, but you might say it has a lot of flip-flapping going on. You're definitely going to use a lot of glue, but that is the mini album. It does come with a ribbon, by the way, but I pulled it off. I had to use it for something else. I ran out of ribbon. Which reminds me, this ribbon here, this Mossy Meadow gold glitter ribbon, this is fabulous. Fabulous. And do you like this card? I'm going to show you how to make one very similar to this today. Other products that I'm working with, of course, you know, something that's been out there is that sunflower embossing folder. And right now, that is available, which we don't always have that in stock because it's a hot commodity, right? And I'm going to be working with that today, so make sure you grab one of those if you already don't have it. Show you some other stuff. This paper, you want this one. Traditional Labels, I think it is called Traditions of Christmas. This paper is out of the world. The Flecks of Gold in here, it's a specialty paper. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'll grab it before we're done here. I was working on a project and I used a lot of it. Of course, all the embossing folders. I'm an embossing folder freak. I love them. And there's so much in this catalog, but I will tell you folks, do not exclude those online exclusives, because let me show you a paper that is in the online exclusives. And I'm jumping all over the place here because I'm just so glad not to be working today that I have to share all of my fun. So this is some of the paper. Look at how gorgeous this is. And this is my second pack. Look at this. And this may or may not be the paper in our fall box. It may or may not. Okay. So that's a great paper. Another paper that I'm working with, which this one is in the catalog. And this is a bundle. It comes with, let me see if I have it. Oh, here's one of the sets, Gathering Moments, which I love all the fonts of the words in this set. It is out of this world. Very, very nice. Everything's out of this world today to me. I think I'm just over the top. I found so much joy in my heart. I didn't realize how stressful my job was and how it was bringing me down. And I was literally up this morning at 5:30. I was getting in the shower at 7:30 after doing some things around the house. And I was ready to go here for you all because I wanted to have glue, which you guys know me, green glue, right? A lot of Giggles, which I hope to give you. Sometime I'm at the top of my game, sometime I'm not. You know, you just kind of got to roll with it. And a lot of girl talk. So let me know what's going on exciting in your life, because obviously I've had some fabulous news. My plan, like I mentioned, is going full-time at my Stampin' Up! Business. So excited about that and what I can bring to you. This ribbon that goes with this suite, the Peaceful Garden Suite, is gorgeous. It is Misty Moonlight and silver, and it has just a lot of sparkle to it. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, here's the thing. If you don't have one of these fabulous catalogs, okay, because you may or may not have a new catalog. If you don't have a new catalog and you want a new catalog, just message me and I will get you one in the mail. I'll get your address and get it shipped out to you. Because I want you to be able to shop. Also, all of these items are available online. Okay, you probably want to see today's project, but before I show you today's project, I'm going to show you a couple of other cards that I made using this technique. And this has been all over Facebook. I think there's some tricks to it. And I think maybe my friend Ro did this for one of our weekend retreats for the crafting queens too. This, you are never ever going to get the same card twice. So enjoy it while you have it. I taught this in my club. The folks here did these two cards. This is reverse embossing, and it uses a lot of ink. Now, if you were to have a lot of people who wanted to partake in this with you, I would recommend getting the uninked stamping spots, because the uninked stamping spots are easier to hold on to, number one. And number two, you're not going to take all of the ink out of your stamp pad. Okay. The other thing that you will need to do this project is the Stampin' Up! Daubers. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I tried this with blending brushes, and I love our blending brushes. But if you want to get into the spots, and I'll show you our card. This is the card we're making today. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? My friend Jill got me hooked on this. And once you start making cards with this, you cannot stop. I tried it with the plaid, and the plaid works. You got to go really, really light on the ink, and it reminds me of a lumberman shirt. And then I thought, okay, let's do non-traditional, right? Let's do the sunflowers in like a red tone. Now, if we had an embossing folder that was poinsettias, this would be fabulous. But this kind of mimics that look a little bit. So this is the embossed side. And then I wanted to see what it looked like, which you can do this. You can play with both sides and decide which one you like better. This is the deboss side. And the colors I used in this was pecan pie, cherry cobbler, and real red. I used them both in here. But I like the tones. I think it's very pretty. So you can decide which you want to use. So another big tip, which, you know, when you're doing a class, I have to crank through, like, I run these all for my people who subscribe to my classes. So I'm running these through. Okay. 3.75 by 5, or 5 1/4 by 4, depending on what card I'm making. And it takes a lot of time. Don't do that. Cut a half a sheet of paper. Because this embossing folder is ginormous, this whole thing can go in here in one pass, and then you can cut it down into your smaller sizes. So it saves you the cranking motion, you know. And I don't know about you guys, but you can build up some serious muscles using this cut and emboss machine if you have to cut 40 or 50 of these, right? So save yourself some time, cut your cardstock to a half a sheet, put it in here, and then run it through, and then just cut your cardstock to fit. Okay. Any questions so far? Oh, thanks, Jen. I'm glad you like the album. That's coming up, so you'll be able to really enjoy that. All right, let's make some cards then. So we're going to make this card here. And let me grab my cutter. My mom is actually in the studio today. We're making some t-shirts. This is funny. One of our friends, they help my mom out so much. They're her neighbor, and they're the Schmidts. Well, the Schmidts have this big family reunion. And what does those shirts say, Mom?
Who gives a Schmidt?
Who gives a Schmidt?
We're on vacation.
And they are going to the Outer Banks, which is really, really cool. So I designed these shirts for her. They are vinyl cut, and they are in, I'm going to say like a coffee color for the lack of using the word poop on camera. And then we have a little emoji poop with eyeballs that's on it too. So we're finishing those up in the studio for her so she can take them on her trip. It's the first time they've been together, I think she said, in like 30 years. I'm like, yeah, that deserves a t-shirt. And maybe some alcohol, because boy, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't been with somebody in 30 years, you better party hard, because, you know, that's a once in a lifetime thing. Okay, so with our card today, and I had all the pieces cut on my desk, and then I, started moving stuff around to show you guys stuff, and the next thing you know, it's not there anymore. Oh, I see it. And those of you who don't know me, it's probably a good thing that I like green glue, because I can't find anything unless it's actually stuck to me. Okay, so you're going to use thick white cardstock. Now, I know probably some of you are saying, well, I don't have to use thick white cardstock. I'm going to use just basic white cardstock. Guess what, guys? It is not the same. You want a nice heavy-duty card. When you put all of your work into this card, you're going to want to be able to keep it for a while. I mean, this is even, not to toot my own horn here or not, but this is frame-worthy. I could put this in a little frame and put it out on my fireplace with a bucket full of fake flowers, because I kill the real ones, but a bucket full of fake sunflowers, and it would look great. Okay, so 5.5 by 8.5, thick cardstock. Thick girls like thick cardstock, right? Probably some other things, but we're not going to mention that on camera. Okay, so we're going to score this at 4 1/4. Get your paper trimmer out. You can make this with me. Okay. Fold it in half. And you should have your bone folder, but I was actually using my bone folder to put the vinyl on my cutting mat, which I think it's...
There's one right there.
Where is it, Mom?
Right on your desk.
See, that's why my mom here. Look at her go. She knows exactly where everything's at. Y'all want to see my mom? Let me show you my mom. Nope, come here. You got to get in here.
Oh, no, I look
Get in
terrible
here. Get in
today.
here. This is my mom. Okay, I'll put you back down to hands.
You used it.
All right. We're going to forget the bone folder. We're going to skip that. My bone folder has left the building. All right, so just crease it real good. I know you all have a bone folder, and if you don't, you need one, because this is not going to crease right without it. Then I have a piece of 5 1/4, I believe it is. Yep, 5 1/4 by 4 early espresso. We're going to set those two aside. Then I've run through, oh, thanks, Mom. I've run through my piece already through my 3D sunflower embossing folder. Again, if you don't have this, get it while it's in stock. Don't wait. You will use it a lot. And we're going to cut this piece to 5 by, let me do 5 here. And this one already might be. No. We're going to cut it to 5. Then I can make 2 cards with this. And then we're going to do 3.75. And then we're going to cut these pieces. And I have to move it down here. Let me see if I can shove this up a little bit. I'm going to do them 1 1/8. And keep them in order. Oh, you know what? Look at that. I already screwed up. You want to color it first. Duh. Let's do this again. 5 by 3 3/4. And we're going to color it. You probably want to know how to do that, right? Okay. So now you're going to get your early espresso ink. And since I mucked up on this piece, I'm going to tell you a funny story. So we're doing this in class. My friend Jill showed me how to do this, you know, because I had to get it done quickly. I didn't have time to watch a ton of YouTube videos. So she could come over and she showed me how to do it. She's a good team player like that. She's part of my team. And she says, oh, well, this is easy. You just take your ink pad and drag it across. Let me just grab a piece of scrap paper. Let me grab a piece. No, can you grab me one, Mom? Because, you know, I got 2 bad knees. I don't know if I told you guys that. I have to have a double knee replacement. Right now I'm doing those injections. And let me tell you what, if you've never had those injections, they help out so much. But they hurt like the dickens. And that is no joke. Oh, and I didn't want to do that. I want to put it on my little mat here. Okay, I'm going to show you what not to do. Okay, so I got my white piece here. And at first, I was dragging it like this, which in theory seems good. Until this is not latch good. And all of a sudden, you can't get a clean drag because your ink pad is out like this. Okay? Don't do it that way. You're going to turn your ink pad sideways and drag it. Now, if you want a lot of ink, you push down more. If you want light ink, you go with really light pressure. Okay? Really light pressure. So I'm going to show you on this test piece, which I'm sure I'll use for another card, right? So you just grab it and just swoop. Okay? Now, that may not be enough for you. You can come back in and swoop again. Or you can change your direction. Okay, you can go this way. See, now we're getting a little bit more. And then you can come back this way like this. Okay, so that's how I did this card. I'm going to set this aside. Maybe we'll make another one. Who knows? Because I have all the time in the world. Okay, so I'm going to drag from top to bottom on our piece we're going to use. And I'm putting moderate pressure here. Now, I do want just a wee bit more on my circle here. And I do want a wee bit more right there. And maybe just right there. All right, so this is my piece. Now you are going to get out. Let me zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. I can move this over. That's probably a little better, huh? Okay, those are for our other card. We're going to slide those out of the way because just like I'm a mess with green glue, I am also a mess with ink. Okay, so we are going to take crushed curry and our little dauber. Hello. We are going to pick up some ink. Okay, and you can squeeze your ink pad to get the ink out. And I'm just going to come in here, and it's kind of like coloring. I'm going to turn it so I can see my flowers here. So not only will you never get the same ink pattern, but depending on where you take the embossing folder from, your pattern inside here will be different. And you can go with more ink or lighter ink. My friend Jill's doing a class, and she used the lighter ink, and it was just absolutely stunning. Like, what colors did you use? Okay, now we're going to come back in with Mossy Meadow. And I like Mossy Meadow for this because it's a real rich, green. And I have lost my green dauber. Now, You guys know me well enough by now. I lose everything if it's not attached. But this is a little ridiculous today.
What'd you lose?
My green dauber. Where's my container of daubers, Mom?
In that little cup. That white cup.
Oh, yeah, I probably put it in there. Let me see. Mom gives me a little white cup for dauber. There's dauber. Now, these daubers are also good if you can keep them in a little Ziploc baggie. And they're washable. You can wash them out. Now, ask me if I wash them out every time. No, I do not. Get a little bit up there. And come in here. I'm going to pick up this leaf. And there's a little leaf right here. We're going to get him. The nice thing about this is if you mess up, nobody's ever going to know. It makes you kind of feel like a kid again coloring. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of, first I'm going to do Cajun Craze. And I know you all are thinking, she left that ink pad open over there. Close that up before you end up it all over you. I'm kind of like the little kid who used Sharpie markers when their mom wasn't home and they colored a mustache on their face. Of course, you know, as you get older, you get one of those. You don't even have to color. I'm just adding just a little bit of the Cajun Craze in here to bring in some of those fall rich tones. Okay. You're probably thinking, what's she doing with that? I'm going to add a little bit in here too. And then we're going to come back in with our crushed curry. And I might have enough right on the dauber without opening my ink pad. And I do. Blend that in. Okay, now here's the secret. This is the secret sauce pecan pie. So grab my pecan pie, which is this one. And I'm going to come in. I'm just going to darken this up a little bit. Now we did that drag thing. I think I need to go through and refill all of my my inks. Grab a little bit more. I see I missed here just a little bit. And sometimes if you come back in with the color afterwards too, you pick up and it blends together nicely with the other colors that you put on here. Okay, now this is our embossed side. So what do you guys think of that? That's embossed. Okay, when I did my card, I did the deboss. So let's play again. We're going to flip it over. I'm going to grab my early espresso. You're at the dentist, Arlena? Ugh. Arlena came up and spent some time with me, which was so much fun. Okay, and I'm going to drag it across again, long ways. And you kind of got to get the feel for what's comfortable, the angle that you take. Okay. Okay, this is the deboss side. Isn't it gorgeous? It's like that. I put that on a piece of Cajun Craze and on another piece of early espresso and you're done, right? All right, now let me grab my crushed curry again. Do some coloring. This kind of looks like wood to me, like this was carved in there. And probably if you use pecan pie in there and maybe a little bit of crushed curry, it would change the appearance of this altogether. Now, I'm showing you both because guess what you're all going to have to do? You're going to have to pick which one you like. So I've been thinking a lot about this whole retirement thing, and I'm like, well, my kids are both in college. My husband's working. I love to stamp. It relaxes me. I find a lot of joy. I find joy with the friendships I've built from my stamping. And, ooh, that's pretty just like that. But we're going to add some green in. And I'm like, I could get up every single day and do something that I love. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't invest in your 401k, make sure you do. The market's really hot right now, number one. And number two, you'd be surprised at the money you would have after several years. Okay. Here we go. All right. And then I'm going to come back in with a little bit more yellow here in our center before we stick on the Cajun cookies. See how it just picks up the color, and it's just so amazing to me. Okay, and then pecan pie. And once you get a lot of ink on here, you really don't have to ink them up a lot to get your desired look. This one I have to grab a little more pecan pie. I smeared it pretty good the last time. You guys like that word, smear? Your battery's dying. Tina, charge up, girl. We don't want you to miss out. Now, if I have not responded to your comments, I can see some I can't. I know it's kind of screwy, but I will respond when we're done for sure. I'm also starting this new thing because I want to see what you're making. You know, I'm on here all the time showing you what I make. I want to see what you make. So we're going to have What You Making Wednesdays, where you can show me what you are making. Okay, so I have my piece. Okay, this is the deboss side. This is the emboss side. Which one should we use? The deboss or the emboss? Deboss or emboss? Anybody? This side or this side? Okay, we're going to go with the deboss. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut these into 1 1/8 inch strips, similar to what I was doing before when I forgot that I didn't color. And save all these pieces, folks, because these little pieces you can color and just use it as a strip on a card. So 1 1/8, chop, 1 1/8, chop. Move this up so you can see it. Not that you guys don't know how to cut. 1 1/8 and chop, and 1 1/8 and chop. Okay, set this little piece aside. We want to keep these in order. I'm going to get my cutter out of the way. We're going to grab our piece of 5 5¼ by 4. And we're going to put these on here just like this. And as the name Giggles, Glue, and Girl Talk, put these on just like this. And what I always do is I put the 2 end pieces on first, and then I can see how far I want to spread those out. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull these in order off to the side. I'm going to put this one on first using my green glue. So who's a green glue user out there? I love my green glue. To me, it's one of the most inexpensive things that we have, and it goes such a long way. And here's my best thing about the green glue. If I don't have that on right, I can peel it off. Typically, I have time to move it around, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. All right, and that goes there, and that goes there. Oh, so if you did not get the email on our Boo Box and you want to be on the email distribution list for our Fall Fun Box, make sure that you message me and I will send you the link. I'll also post it out there so that you can sign up, because you don't want to miss these things that are going on, you know? So perfect. So my son, he knows how much I love green glue. This is no joke. So I have had a 3D printer for probably about 3.5 years. Because I wanted to do that. Those of you that know me, I mean, I am very spontaneous. But so I bought this 3D printer. And it'd sit there and sit there and sit there. Zach put it all together. I mean, there was like 1,000 pieces to this thing, and no exaggeration. And all these tiny little piece parts that he had to put together. And I'm like, oh my God, what is it going to take to run this? Well, and I'll put you back in my face so you can see this. But so he gets this thing all together, and come to realize you can't just like connect it to your computer. Like you would think that's the way things would work, right? Well, got to remember, I bought this like 3 to 4 years ago, maybe 5. And it was expensive. I mean, it was like $350, and I never used this thing. And doggone it, I'm going to use this. I'm going to create all sorts of cute little things. So he gets it all together, and we run some things through. And this thing, you know, it's kind of like old computers. You buy an old computer, and it runs like you're the snail in SpongeBob. I mean, it is slow. So he and I, we make a few things on there, and he's so nice. I wanted a glue holder, obviously, because I love my green glue. He makes the glue holders, but I mean, it takes 8.5 hours to make this glue holder. So I'm like, all right, let's upgrade this doggone thing. If we're going to use it, we're going to use it. So we get a new one. And now we can kick these babies out like 6 at a time. And it takes us, I'm going to say maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to make these. So and they're really nice because these are made, they'll fit a lot of different glue bottles. But we made the base so it was wider, so it doesn't like tip over. So he's making these now, and he's selling them so that he can pay for his college, because he goes to Central Michigan. He is 21, and he's quite the entrepreneur. This kid can build websites. He uses Visual Studios, not to brag, but he's very smart when it comes to technical stuff. I don't consider myself smart, but I love technical stuff. And I teach myself how to do stuff all the time. Well, he's now making a lot of different things. So he's making these Gotta get my stick out of here because we're measuring it for the. These are bow jigs, and they have your name on them. And these are really cool. And then the little plastic pieces they store in the end, so you never lose them. And then they're about the size of this dowel here, and you get 2 of them. And then you just put the 2 in there, and you wrap your ribbon around, and you can tie your bows. So you get really cute bows every single time. So he's making those. He's making some ribbon holders. He's making some block holders. He's making these block holders. And he has a couple other designs of block holders. He's making me a desk organizer, so when I'm doing projects with you all, I can have it like right in front of me, so I'm not like scouring all over my desk like I've been doing today, so it doesn't become a scavenger hunt. So he's making those too. So just wanted to let you know kind of what's going on in my life. My daughter Emily, she is a photographer, as well as she is going to college to be a teacher, and she's finishing up her last year before she actually transfers to Ferris. Now, mom's a SAMU alum, but she's going to Ferris, so could be worse, right? It could be Western. Back in the day, that was our rival. So I'm really happy for her, too. She's so good with kids. I think, like, everybody in the hometown that I live with always wants Emily to babysit, because if she's watching your child, she's loving on your child. She takes such good care of them. And she nannies, too. She nannies for this cute little girl. Oh, my God. You just want to pick her up and hug her. She's so cute. And she has an older sister who loves to craft. She comes to my studio, and we take kits. And there's one kit, and I forget what it's called because, of course, that's me. But it has a card that you can make with a unicorn. There's a dinosaur, and there's something else in there. And they pop open when you make them, when you unfold them. And she made a set of those and took them home. One day she made her mom a couple cards. I mean, she just has a heart of gold, and she just loves to craft. And I hope she stays that way. And every time she comes over, she goes, "Mrs. Bauer, how's your knees? Are you feeling better?" I'm like, "Oh, that is so sweet." You know, I think maybe she's in first grade, and, you know, here she's worried about me. So, okay, back to our project. I'll put you back down to my hands. All right, so now we're going to take this fabulous ribbon, and it is called Irregular Weave Trim, and we're going to cut a piece to go around our card. I promise you next time I won't take so long, but today is kind of exciting for me. And we're going to put it right there. And actually, I think I'm going to leave it like that. This way. Let's see. Nope, I like it this way. All right. So we're going to flip this over. And other demos have been doing this, and they kind of got me hooked. You take a piece of your tear tape, and you just flip this over like this. And then you take another piece of tear tape, and make sure you're lined up right where you want it. That looks pretty good. And then you put a piece of tear tape there. Now we can glue this down. Let's go ahead and do that. So when I was designing the graphic for this, Glue, Giggles, and Girl Talk, when I created because you know ChatGPT will create cartoon characters for you, and I wanted a cartoon of myself, so I gave it to them, and they made me really, really thin, and I thought, oh my gosh, look at that, that would be so cool to be that size, but granted, it's not, and I'm a lover, not a hater, right? So I make myself bigger, which is what you see on the screen. And have you guys ever seen Miranda Sings? My daughter, she was infatuated by her when she was in elementary school. I had to take her to a concert over in Grand Rapids because she just absolutely loved this comedian. So I take her to this concert, And this girl wears like red pants and she wears bright red lipstick. Well, it come out that way, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to leave it. I think it's pretty cool to have bright red lipstick. I cannot wear bright red lipstick. I actually use a lip gloss from Mary Kay that I love. All right, now I lost my doggone piece. Again, losing stuff, right? You guys are going to be exhausted by the time you get done watching this. You're going to be like, man, she loses everything. We were on a mission to find it, and here they are sitting right off to the side. There we go. Found it. Squirrel, right? There's a stamp set for that, by the way. I'm going to use the word gather on here. These dies, I'm going to show you these dies because if you don't have these in your stash, you're going to want them. I've used them so much. The branching out stamp set has a lot of beautiful words, and it has other die cuts in here. But these dies are fabulous. I mean, look at these. And you get a lot of them. So there's 4. Here's 5. And here is 6. So you get 6 different layers. I use the smallest one on this, but this set, I've used it and used it and used it because it's nice for layering because you can use multiple colors. This other white piece is from Unbounded Love, which I love that stamp set too. I'm going to take my Early Espresso ink, and I'm using the word gather, and that is actually out of the Gathering Moments stamp set bundle. And there's a lot of other words you could use in there. And there we go. Hopefully I don't get ring around the rubber. Okay, perfect. And then we're just going to glue this onto here using our green glue. And I was blending earlier and I got a little bit on the white, but I couldn't waste the paper, so that's what that is. Don't be alarmed by that. And I take that label from the branching out. I'm just going to put this on here like this. And then these are some new gems. I love them because they kind of look like they're wood. I don't know if you can kind of see them, but they are called streaked dots. And I'll put a big one there. Come on off there. I should have my take your pick tool because I just lost my glue dot on there. Let's see if I have them somewhat lined up. Oh, not too shabby. We'll go with that. And then I'm going to grab some dimensionals. Grab those. Let's see, we want bigger ones. There we go. And we're going to put these at the bottom, like so. There we go. I take your pig tools down at the table where we're doing these shirts too. Okay, and we're going to stick this on here like this. And then I'm going to grab my glue dots. Maybe I should just repeat stuff 3 times and it'll appear. I see them. And I'm going to do my bow with a glue dot right here. There we go. And I'm going to put that on just like that. And then I'm going to take one more small one of these embellishments because odd numbers work well. And we're just going to stick it right there. And that is our beautiful card. Now, we need an inside for this beautiful card. And I really like this Label Me Grateful. Let's see. Yeah, maybe not. So I use Gather this time. Let's see what we have here. let's use Autumn Wishes. I think that is pretty good. So let me pull that out and do Autumn Wishes.